Welcome to Diary of a Dreamer, where resilience unlocks your potential. I'm Tasha Eisinger, and each week I'll bring you powerful stories and practical insights from my own experiences and inspiring guests. Whether you're facing challenges or chasing dreams, this podcast is your go-to for motivation, building confidence, and practical tips for transforming obstacles into opportunities. Let's dive into today's episode and start turning your dreams into reality. With Jackie Walker. She and I met about a year ago, which has been such a blessing in my life. And Jackie actually got her start in retail. At one point, she was the youngest couture buyer in the country, which I think is amazing. And then she got into human resources. So she went from fashion from the outside to the inside, which led her to start her business Option Dressing back in the 80s. And she's still in business, doing amazing things, and has also published a few books through Simon & Schuster. And we're going to dive into all of that today and more. So Jackie, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
And I love seeing your face because we text a lot and call each other a lot. And to actually see your face, it's almost like we're together, right?
I know. I feel like it. I know.
Well, it's been such a joy getting to know you better. And one of the things that you told me very early on is that you are known as the Doctor of Closetology. And I love that playful title. So what is a Doctor of Closetology?
Well, closetology is a search for self-esteem through the psychology of your closet and your clothing. And as you said, I started out, all I ever wanted to be was a buyer. I thought if I could travel the nation, buy beautiful clothing for department stores and use other people's money to do it, what a deal.
It sounds like fun.
It was so amazing. And I did it for years. And then I had my Oprah aha moment when in that department store I was working in, they made me their human resource director. And now I'm in an office dealing with insurance, hiring, firing, and I was dealing with the insides of women. And the aha moment was that if you're not happy inside your heart and mind, no materialism on the outside will make it so. So I started the playful title as the closetologist, the doctor, and I wanted to travel the nation. It was my dream to take clothing to a higher purpose.
I love that because I think so often clothing is associated with vanity, and you flip the lid on that. It's not about vanity at all.
You know, I think every woman has to learn to be her own kind of beautiful. There's many looks of beauty. And when a woman looks in the mirror, I lead her to find her own true identity and purpose and to love herself.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I've usually said about my fashion sense is I don't have it and that I'm pretty just plain and simple. But you have these 4 personas, and I took the quiz on JackieWalker.com. And I love that now I can say that I'm classic and natural. And it just has such a air about it that boosts my self-esteem instead of downplaying who I am. So can you share a little bit about your personas?
Well, that's one of the things I'm known for because everyone is born with an internal blend of fashion personas. Classic, natural, dramatic, romantic, mood dresser, trend tracker. The quiz, as you said, on JackieWalker.com is free. It's called the Closetology Quiz. When you take it, you find out what your blend is. Your highest number is your dominant, and then the others blend with it. And then it self-scores, and it leads you to lots of different wonderful newsletters to tell you what all of the attributes of each persona is. It's so much fun.
Well, and my daughter, she loved doing it as well. And I guess backtracking here, I misspoke. It's not 4, is it 6 that you listed?
Well, there's actually 4 dominant. The others are parts of each one. Like the modernist is part of the classic. The trend tracker is part of the dramatic. So really there are 4 dominant, but then all the others make the blend.
Yes. Well, I know that my girls, they love doing the paper doll books and
I love
out the clothes. And my older daughter was like, it's like shopping, Mom. It's so much fun. And she was like, I think I'm a romantic and here's why. And it was so much fun. It's playful and it's also fun and exciting and helps them appreciate who they are. Like you said, finding their own kind of beautiful, which I love. So how is it then that you got started in business? I know that we covered a little bit about your beginnings, but how did you start your business and what inspired you to get going with it?
Well, first, I did a day in the home. That's what I wanted to do. In fact, I'm doing one this Friday for a client. I arrive at 10 in the morning, and then I analyze a woman from the inside using my HR, knowledge. And then I do her architecture because I believe there's no such thing as size. I put her in front of the mirror and I look at her space and teach her how to layer her lines correctly against her personal space. Then I bring her closet into harmony with her life, and that's based on my retailing experience. Well, every time I did those, people would say, "Do you speak to a group?" I have a group. So I wrote 7 different presentations through the years, and I was traveling the whole country 98% of my life speaking to charities as fundraisers. So that started that. The next question was, "Do you have a book? Do you have a book?" So I wrote my for women. It's called "I Don't Have a Thing to Wear: The Psychology of Your Closet." It's amazing. Teaches you everything. Then they say, "I have a daughter. Do you have a book for a tween?" So I wrote my Expressionista tween book. Then they said, "What about little girls?" So as you said, I have the paper doll book. They're all on Amazon and they're absolutely amazing. They change people's lives. As you said about your daughters, they're fun.
It is so much fun. And I think it's important to grow in self-awareness and appreciate who we are because we're all supposed to be different. And I like that you're not putting anybody in a box. You're saying this is who you are and that's okay.
Right.
And I think it's important.
It is. I give them permission. It's interesting. I started doing fashion shows around the nation. Normal fashion shows you go to and you see these 6-foot models that you could never emulate. It makes you leave feeling poorly. My fashion shows are about each model is a different persona. And you go, "Oh my God, that's me." And "Oh my God, that's my daughter." So it brings an awareness and it's a real positive fashion presentation.
I love that you said 6 feet tall because I'm like 5'2.5". I cannot relate to being 6 feet tall if I even
No,
sit on a chair.
I know. They're like hangers where clothes just fall on them. They're just so envious of them, you know.
They are kind of magical in their own way, aren't they?
They are. They are. They are.
Oh my goodness. I know every time we talk, I'm so inspired by you because you live your life so fully. Um, you've had many adventures, even since we've started talking in December, you've had many adventures. But when you look at your entire life, what are some of your favorite adventures that you've had?
Oh my gosh, I'm writing my memoir now. And so instead of living my life, I'm looking at it. And it's like this little girl who had dreams. My title is Dreams Were Her Currency. I always had dreams. I never had a lot of money, but I had dreams. And I constantly can reinvent myself because I get bored easily. So, oh gosh, I got to meet the Beatles when I was young and do a teen board fashion show for them when they came to America the first time. I got to take Priscilla Presley on tour when she launched her first fragrance, Moments, for the J.C. Penney company. I've done fashion shows with celebrities, just so many wonderful things that I've gotten to do. And then seeing a woman look at herself in the mirror through Closetology and have an awareness that she is beautiful warms my heart. So writing this book is really so amazing because I'm learning about the new adventures that I want to take. And I've got 14 things I'm doing now, as you know.
I know, I
You
love
know,
it.
I know. It's just wild.
Oh my goodness. Well, and life is supposed to be something that fills us up because I believe if we fill ourselves up, then we can fill up other people around us, which is how you live your life. I constantly am hearing where you're volunteering or where you're, helping even your neighbors or doing something special for other people as well. And so I just love that you live that way. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
So what are some of your favorite things that you're working on right now? Because I know it's 14, but if you just want to narrow it down to a few things.
I'll narrow. Okay. My mother worked in the Baptist Memorial Hospital gift shop on Mondays for years. I have her tabard uniform with her name on it, her plate. And so I said, if I ever had time, I would volunteer in a gift shop on Mondays. So for over a year, I have volunteered at Baycare Hospital in the gift shop. And I love bringing joy to people who have relatives, in the hospital and need to go to a happy place. So I do.
Mhm.
I am joining Ollie Osher, which is a senior wonderful learning center through all the universities around the country. The one here is USF, University of South Florida. So I go to the Readers and Writers group and I meet with other authors to improve my long writing, which is my book, my memoir. I belong to a movie group. So we pick a movie and we Zoom third Friday of the month and we ask fabulous questions about the movie and what the meaning is. Next week, I'm going to a poetry event for Ollie, and that's out of the New Yorker magazine where we listen to poetry. And, Tom Hanks said something years ago. He said, I eat life. And that's what I do. I just eat it. I love it. And there's every time the phone rings, there's a different adventure that comes in my way. And I love it.
I love it. And I mean this in the most endearing way. It's kind of like having like that child in your heart that's never left and like giving her space because somewhere people become adults and boring and you've not done that.
I'll tell you something interesting. For years, I wrote for the Huffington Post. And if you Google Huff Post, the number 50 / Jackie Walker, all of my articles are archived. And the one I just looked at the other day is about honoring the child inside of you and talking about, coloring books and pickup sticks. And my girlfriend and I play Jackson ball and pickup sticks. I must say, Chardonnay is involved at this point. But,
You play them as an adult. Let's
as
make
an
it
adult, as an adult. Yeah, she, when she was young, she always wanted that big box of crayons with the sharpener.
Yes.
She was poor.
Yes.
And so one day for her birthday, 5 years ago, as an adult, I bought her the box of crayons, the coloring book, Jackson ball, pickup sticks
Oh.
to her house, and we played like 7-year-olds. But there was Chardonnay. Um, we laugh about that all the time. My sons now are reliving their childhood with their sons, playing Star Wars, playing, G.I. Joe. I've taught them to eat life too.
So important. I love that you don't just when we're visiting, it's not like you're just preaching and telling me what to do. You're modeling it by going out and doing it and living life. And I guess when you look forward to the next 5 years, you shared some of the things that you want to do here soon. Do you think that you'll keep doing more of the closetology and going into people's closets and helping them in that way, or more public speaking? What is it that you're wanting to do?
Well, I did a presentation for Ollie 2 weeks ago. It was two parts. It was closetology and then architecture and personas. And there were a lot of women in the audience. And I saw that it still is relevant.
Mhm.
Women are looking for something to make them feel beautiful. They're trying to get those things out of their head that were put there by mothers, fathers, men. And so I know that my work is still important. So, yes, I will do clients. I will go into the home. I will speak on the topic. I'm already booked for the fall to do another session. And I don't know what's coming. Every day there's a new, you give me such inspiration. You give me ideas that I can, emulate and act on. I think everyone that you meet in life has a gift to give you, as long as you're aware and as long as you can give them something and they give you something. You never know where that path will take you. It's just very exciting.
It is exciting. And I love to hear that you're excited by it because I think sometimes people look at the unknown as scary.
Yeah.
So, why is it, or how are you able to look at it as exciting and fun instead of being scared of it?
Known that life is wonderful. I realize that life is hard sometimes. I've been through a lot of struggles, which I'm putting in my memoir, but you can handle your struggles one way or the other. You can be the little cartoon character with the little cloud over your head, or you can be the mermaid who walks the path. I believe in a mermaid. I use her as an icon. She has a tail, but she can walk. I see the same things as everyone else, but I see them differently. I try to make everything positive and fun Because if you're going to go through just life one time, why not do it phenomenally well? And I think that I have a mermaid mission that teaches you to go where there is no path, make that path, and leave a trail for other people to follow. And I think if more people were kind and giving, that's the way to go through life. You know, if you have one time, why not make it fabulous, really? You
Yeah,
know.
and it goes quickly, so we should enjoy as much of it as we can. And I feel like we don't have to make life harder than it already is.
True. You've got to find that way. You've got to find that mission. And I believe that everybody in life has a passion. You know, there's a big difference between being pushy and being passionate. And when you find your passion, whatever it is in life, you never work a day in your life. And I was very lucky to find my passion and taking clothing to a higher purpose to teach women to be beautiful in any way they feel they want to. And I also help women find their passion. I have a wonderful presentation called Personal Branding, you know, as a person in today's world. And I teach them how to find their next step in life, whatever age they are.
Mhm.
I have really been real proud of finding women's passion, and they've started all new careers, sometimes in their 50s. So life is just really wonderful.
So, what do you think are some questions people can ask themselves to discover their passion? Because I know you've probably seen it. I see it when I go out and about. There's some people that are just, you can tell they're just getting through the next moment. They're not
Yeah.
even thinking out here of passion. So, what are some questions people can ask themselves to discover it?
Well, my father taught me this years ago when I was little. He said, whenever you have something in your heart and your mind, like a problem or a thought, it goes from here to here, here to here, here to here, and it never comes out. So you always take a legal pad. This is what he taught me, and this is what I teach. This is how I started option dressing. You draw a line down the center of the legal pad. On the left, you put things that you love. What do you love? What do you love to do? Travel, people, food, cooking. List one word all the way down that list. On the right side, put what you don't like to do. Like, I don't like budgets and numbers and math. So leave it. Walk away, come back, walk away, come back. Because I guarantee you, your next step in life, your passion, will be on the left side of the paper. If you can create a future, if you can create a job or a mission or a career out of the things you love, but here's the key: you delegate the things that you don't like to people that love them. Then instead of being with people that are just like you find those people that make the other side great. You've given them a gift. So you hire them or you work with them, and then they are happy and have a passion. You have a passion, and everybody's happy. And I see it work all the time, all the time.
So, Jackie, as you're talking, I'm going to add another thing to your 14 things on your list.
Okay, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
As you were talking, I was thinking of my high school self because I knew I wanted to help people and I knew that I love teaching. So I thought, well, I'll just be a teacher. That's common sense, right? So I was an elementary school teacher, but then I learned within the first year, I don't think this is how I meant to teach. And this isn't exactly how I meant to help people. So if somebody had taught me that in high school,
Right.
so now you need to create a presentation for high schoolers and teach them that.
And I would love to do that because I really believe that that's if you can find your passion early in life, you've
Yeah.
wasted so many days of your life being miserable or being stuck in a career that you don't like because your father said you should do it or your mother or, that's all you knew. And here's the other thing called branding. Okay. I teach again women and men to brand themselves. So if you look at what your talents are, take me. Okay. I was in retail my whole life. And so what were my talents? Retailing, buying, fashion coordinating, all that. What happens if a woman or a man in retailing gets downsized and loses their job?
Mhm.
What they do is they go out and look for another job in retailing. That's all they know. But
Right.
no, if they say, my talents are speaking, my talents are clothing, my talents are, creating, events, They can do that with anyone. So with me, my talents are writing, speaking, clothing. So now I can speak to not only the retail industry, real estate, hotel industry. My world has now opened up in my speaking genre to the world. So it's your talents and how you find the places to put them. You don't put yourself in a box ever.
Mm-mm. Well, and I know that there's got to be at least one person listening right now who's going to be like, Jackie, that's great for you. You have talents. I don't. What would you say to that person?
Everybody has a talent. Everybody has something that they could be passionate about. You just don't believe in yourself. You don't think that you can be an entrepreneur or work for a company if you've always loved to cook in your kitchen. Look at Ina Garten. She loved to cook in her kitchen. And one day, Jeffrey and she saw that little building, the Barefoot Contessa, and look at her now. So don't ever put yourself in a box and think you can't be happy or you can't have your dreams come true. So you can always email me,
Love it.
it's Jack, JAX 6014 at AOL.com, and tell me what your passions are, your dreams. And I would love to do that for you because I don't wait your whole life to find that. Don't sit in front of a mirror and think, I can't do that. Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Yes.
just have a little courage, right? Just have the courage to take action. It sounds like, have the courage, create a team. You have a plan. I love that you're such a big dreamer, but you
Yeah.
also put plans in place. You're not just keeping your heads in the cloud. You dream and then you go out and do.
And I find people that are detail oriented because I'm the big picture person.
Yeah.
But I find people that are detail oriented that make my dreams come true. And I feel like everybody can do it. I feel sorry for so many people that say they're stuck. You shouldn't be stuck. There's a way out of it. You just have to want to. I always say, I've met so many women that go, you heard ready, get set, ready, get set. When are you going to go? When are you going to take the leap? And when you do, even though it's frightening, it's so wonderful. It's frightening to be an entrepreneur, but guess what? No one can ever fire you. No one can ever take your insurance away. And if you don't like who you're working with, just go work with someone else. It's really exhilarating
It is. I
because I
love being an entrepreneur.
love it. I love it. I love my boss. It's me. I'm my boss.
Do you buy yourself a gift for Boss's Day? You should. If you
I
don't, you need
should. I
to.
never thought about that, but I should. It's funny. I'm an only child. And so I always say when I have an idea, I always agree with myself because I say, Jackie, what do you think? And Jackie says, I love it. Hey, you can't go wrong.
Oh,
You
Jackie, I
want to
love
do
you.
this new seminar for high schoolers? Yeah, Jackie, let's do it. Okay.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
I know it's
You're
fun.
so fun. You're so fun.
Life is.
Um, I feel like you have such a positive mindset, which we've talked about. What are a few guiding principles that help you stay consistent with that? Especially because you've shared a bit of your life with me and some of the really hard stuff you've been through. I don't want anybody listening to this to think that your life has been sunshine and rainbows because you've kept the sunshine and rainbows close, even in the storms. But what are some basic mindsets you've had throughout your life to help you?
Well, my struggles have been, a lot of times personally, not to share everything, obviously, but, I lost my daddy at 61. I lost my mother at 66. I'm an only child. I've sat alone, in hospitals with loved ones, with no one around me. I have children I'm blessed with and grandchildren, but there's nothing like your mother and father. They love you unconditionally. So I think that what keeps me positive is I have a lot of books that I love. There's a book called The Dance that I absolutely love, and it talks about how in life all the individual parts of us are on the dance floor, and what we do most of the time is we ask the parts of us that are easy for a dance. If we would ask the parts of us that are uncomfortable for a dance, the dance of life, what we would learn and how we would grow. So I love that book. I love the book, Everything You've Ever Learned, You've Learned in Kindergarten. I love that. There's the mermaid story in there I love. I love the book, The Aladdin Factor, because these are the books I read and these are the seminars I write, because we all know who Aladdin is. And when Aladdin rubbed the lamp, the genie popped out and we got 3 wishes. But I have an Aladdin's lamp that I got on Amazon. It's the same looking, no genie pops out, but tell women you can rub that lamp 50 times. You can create 50 dreams for yourself and make them all come true. There is no limits on life. There's no limits on anything. Now, I know illness comes in. I know a lot of caregivers that are currently helping, but if you can have those things that give you energy. Like for me, it's music when I'm tired. It's a fresh flower, in the kitchen. It's a talk with a beautiful friend. It's reading a book that gives you a magical perspective. When you're depleted of that energy, know how to get it back and play that music and get that energy. And I think life would be a lot easier, if we knew the things that gave us joy and they complemented and balanced the things that are hard.
Yeah.
That's my mantra.
That's really beautiful. And I love that it's so doable
Yeah.
because I know you and we are big, huge dreamers. We get very excited and revved up when we talk, but not everybody is necessarily wired that way. And that's okay. But there's these doable things to make life better and to get you closer to creating the life of your dreams. And it doesn't have to be this big grandiose vision like you and I having a million things on our to-do list and seeing it as fun and exciting. It
Right.
doesn't have to be that way. So thank you for sharing,
Yeah.
practical things people can do too.
Well, I've had people say to me, Jackie, what's easy for you is not easy for me. And I get it because
Yeah.
I heal the world and I want to tell everyone to dance and be happy and all that. But I realize it's not easy for them. It is easier for me. And so I have to find those. My neighbor said the other day she was having problems. She came over and I was trying to chat with her. And she said, every morning when I wake up, I look for those small joys,
Mm.
those small joys. Everything starts with one step. You don't have to have a million steps. What are the 5 things that bring you joy? And
Yeah.
that's easy. If it's food, a flower, music, a chat with your grandchild, find 3 things a day that bring you joy. And I think your life will balance. I really do.
Yeah. It'll become more peaceful at the very least, right?
Yeah.
So what's something that you would advice you'd tell your 20-year-old self?
I probably would tell my 20-year-old self to not try so hard, to accomplish everything at once.
Mm.
When I was working for this department store, a part of my job before I was human resource director, I was managing fine and fashion jewelry. And I remember when my boss came up from Miami, it was Burdines, it was Federated Department Stores, and he would come up, his name was Herb Gold, and I would say, now, Mr. Gold, I want to do this and this and this and this and this and this. And he would look at me and he'd say, Jackie, let me say something to you. This department store is not a speedboat. It's a cruise ship. It doesn't turn quickly. So if you would just ask me for 50% of your needs, I will grant them. Next time, ask me for 50 more. Eventually, you're going to get 100, but don't ask for them all at once. So I have kind of learned to prioritize and to not feel like I have to have everything at once and to try to do a little bit at a time. And it's really worked. I mean, I remember asking the world, do you want to write a book with me? Do you want to write a book with me? Because I didn't know I could do it. And eventually I realized that it takes time, as you know, with your books. But eventually, when you look back at your life as I'm doing now, you think, wow, a step at a time. It's ready, set, but learn to go. Go. You've got to leap. And if you make a mistake, so what? Just leap again. We all make mistakes. How many? I told you it's what, 10 no's for every yes?
That's right.
Oh, wow, that yes is worth it, isn't it?
It sure is.
Sure is.
Oh my goodness. I could just talk to you all day, Jackie. I love our visits.
I love us.
Oh my goodness. I am always learning from you and growing and inspired by you. So thank you for being here today. And I'm sure that there's people listening that are like, I just would love a daily dose of Jackie as well. So how can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can go to my website. It's Jackie, it's Jackie Walker, WALKER.com. Take the Closetology quiz. If you want to contact me, don't go through the website. Just email me directly at jax6014@AOL.com. I always answer everybody. Or text me. I mean, it's fine. I give my number out. It's, 813-230-2153. Text me with a question. I get questions every day. And, ask me about anything, because sometimes a simple answer changes your life. It has mine.
And you've been so good to know that people have poured into you and you generously pour into so many people. So thank you for being in my life and being my friend and being here with us today. I
Well,
appreciate
you
it.
inspire me too. So I love you, Tasha.
I love you. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Diary of a Dreamer. I hope you found the stories and tips shared today to be a source of motivation and strength. Remember, every challenge you face is a chance to grow and move closer to your dreams. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with anyone who could use a boost of encouragement.